Hello lovely people, it's Lesley, the Not Quite Enough Distance vlog. How are we? Hope everyone's okay. Thank you for all the comments and observations on last week's ceremony. I'm not at work now. Podcast, vlog. Oh, this is starting well, isn't it? Now, I hope you're all doing okay, and thank you for all the responses to last week's vlog. I have been given more stuff. I am so lucky, I really am. Thank you to Barbara, Flame of Fibre Barbara, who very kindly sent me a pattern for my birthday. And she has given me the wonderful, what's it called? Deception and Persuasion. Now this is actually a double pattern. These are by Skenanigans. And it's a cardigan and a sweater, all in the pattern package. So thank you, Barbara. That is so kind of you. That is really, thank you. Much appreciated. I also had a parcel from Kat, who has sent me this fabulous bag. Red and black, musical stuff, and with a bit of Canadian maple leaf across the top. It's a beautiful bag. It's lined, drawstring, got a little tape measure in it, which I think is an absolutely brilliant idea. And she also very kindly sent a key ring from the last post fund, which she used to work for, and a Canadian poppy for Remembrance Day. And I always wear my poppy with pride, so I shall wear two this year, because I shall buy my British one as normal and also wear the Canadian one, and see how many people it confuses. So thank you, Kat, that is so kind of you. She says she tends to sew on sort of rainy days, so thank you for sewing that for me. That is so appreciated. And the pins as well, supporting veterans. Thank you. That is a marvellous, marvellous thing. So thank you so much. Crafting news. I have finished the car seat blanket. So we've got holes in the back here, which make it look like a very sad face, for the shoulder straps and the buckle. And I've got three rows of press studs, or poppers, or stud fasteners, or snap fasteners, or whatever you want to call them, depending on where you are in the world, so that it will have room for growth as the baby grows. So I am hopeful that it fits, and I'll find out tomorrow. Cheers. Hello lovelies. Where are we? Tuesday. Yeah. So the weekend, mixed, I think is the best way to describe it. Saturday I went to my concert, very good. Steve Hackett was guitarist in Genesis for many years, is currently touring with some excellent musicians playing old Genesis albums. Basically the second half of the concert, or the second part of the concert, was the complete replaying of a Genesis live double album. The first part of the concert was solo work and more modern pieces from Mr. Hackett himself. And I was sitting there thinking, so your career now is a support act to your former career? That must be a bit weird. And I'm sure there's a Simpsons sketch of Pink Floyd supporting a Pink Floyd tribute act or someone like that. It reminded me of that. But it was very good. It was very good. It did have the feel of a tribute band, but with absolutely top-notch musicians. So very enjoyable evening. Sunday, the family arrived, and the car seat blanket fits. Very happy about that. It was extremely well received. My sister has also bought a car seat because she's involved in childcare when niece is at work. So there will probably be an order for a second car seat blanket. I need to get the measurements from them because the strap configuration is different, but yeah, that's all good. Then we did the Race for Life, which is this 3-mile walk, and I started it and wasn't well. I had to stop. Excuse my phone. Which was extremely disappointing for me. I've done this thing every year for a long time, but I just wasn't able to continue, so I went and sat in the car and waited for them all to finish. Yeah, don't know what went wrong. I have had a bit of health trolling on this channel before, so before anyone else wants to just be worried about my health and tell me it's because I need to lose weight or I need to do more exercise, I would just like to point out that 4 weeks ago I did a similar length, similar steepness of walk in a costume whilst drumming. So this is clearly not a chronic problem, it was a small acute problem. So just setting out some boundaries there, because they have been breached before. No more needs to be said. So that was very disappointing for me, but as I said to the members of my family who'd sponsored me, I'm keeping the money. Well, I'm not keeping the money, I'm sending it on to cancer research. So yeah, really disappointing. Left me in a bit of a funk, but all things will pass, so I'll get over it. So now we're Tuesday. Yesterday had a visit. No, I didn't. I had a ceremony. I really should learn the difference. Which seemed to go well. I didn't go to drumming practice because I still wasn't feeling quite as I should. I'm still not feeling quite as I should. So I didn't go to drumming practice. We have one of our large events this weekend. I'm just going to have to see how I feel. There will be lots of people attending. I won't be missed if I'm not there. But it's something I would like to do if I can. So we just got to see how we go on that one. But yeah, so a mixed weekend. More good than bad. So, yeah, so onwards to the next bit of the week. Cheers. Hello lovelies, it's Friday. It's been a mixed week. Had some really lovely bits and some not so lovely bits. Yeah, Tuesday went for lunch with a friend, really nice. We usually, under other circumstances, we used to meet every kind of 3 months or so, have lunch or a coffee, catch up. Haven't done that for best part of 2 years, so it was really lovely to see her and to have a good old chat. And then that evening, our electric started playing up in the house. I was just sitting, you know, in the sitting room watching TV, or rather not watching TV because it was golf, and himself was heating up something for his dinner. And then the TV went off and some of the plugs went off, and it was sort of odd. And in the end, I'm in the cupboard under the stairs with a torch at the fuse box, turning everything off and then flicking things back on one by one to see which one tripped the system. And the upshot is we have currently no electricity to the sockets in the kitchen. So that's required a bit of thought, and I've had to do my own washing up because we can't get a socket to the dishwasher. That's distressing. No, I'm really grateful actually that we've got this second fridge, because where our fridge is placed, it's difficult to get an extension cable to it. Whereas himself's fridge, we could get an extension cable across the dining room, plugged in there, and then could plug the freezer and his fridge in, so that we could keep everything cool, everything fresh. So, phew. The electrician should be here within the next hour, so hopefully that will be resolved today. So that was that evening. And 2 mornings later, I tripped up over the cable and the extension cable. Of course I did, it was inevitable. We had to have this thing on the floor because of the length of the cables from the fridge and the freezer. So here's a photograph of how I prepare breakfast at the moment. Bit of toast, kettle. And yeah, I just tripped up over the cable. Not whilst breakfast was preparing, I have to say. And sort of landed against a wall. Didn't hit my head or anything like that. I've got a bruise on my arm and feeling rather sorry for myself. But all fine, all fine. Just annoying. It was one of those slow motion moments, you know, when you fall and you're trying to stop yourself and you can't. So you kind of feel it happening as if time has slowed. So it was one of those. Yeah, so that was yesterday morning before, can't remember, but yesterday morning. And then yesterday, spent some time with some other friends, which was great. And one of them watches this and complains that I never mention her. So I spent the afternoon with Duckers. All right, Duckers, lovely time yesterday. Thank you for being a fabulous host with the most. Some people are so demanding. So yeah, it was nice to catch up, and they're all people who are funeral celebrants. So we have some very dark conversations, but it's nice to be able to talk to people who are comfortable with talking about that kind of stuff. So that was good. Craft-wise, I have finished a pair of socks. Now these have been on the go for some time, and I will go through all the details. I'm putting it here so you can get the light. They're not blocked yet, obviously. I will go through all the details on the month-end podcast, but these are the ones that I made a long time ago, and I knitted the main part of them on my flatbed machine. So it was the first time knitting a tube rather than a flat piece on that machine, and I made the tubes for these socks, and then I added toes, heels, and I would say cuffs, but I just bound them off, cast them off, because I like a roll top cuff. The heel I used is the umbrella heel, and that was the recommendation of one of you lovely people, and forgive me because it was possibly Janet. If it was you, Janet, thank you. Whoever it was, thank you. So yes, this is the umbrella heel by Kay of the Bakery Bears. Like I say, I'll go into all details on the month-end podcast, but that worked pretty well as an afterthought heel. So I wanted to get these off the needles to start the test socks that I'm doing for Carol, which I spoke about last week, raising money for her daughter's ranch and horse rescue. So glad that these are done. So I have now started, have I got the beginning here? Just the very beginning here, just the toe of the test ones. But this is as far as I've got, so there's not a lot of point in showing you that at the moment. Hopefully there'll be more to show you next week. So I think that's it for this week. This weekend it's one of our big drumming events. It's a bonfire in our local town. So that'll be a parade with lit torches, and it will probably be quite busy. Given my inability to complete the walk on Sunday, I need to have a think tomorrow about if I feel I can do that or not. So I'll see how I go on that. Depends if I have bruising coming out anywhere else from this fall, because it kind of jolts all of you, doesn't it? Although you might think, oh, well, I've bashed my arm or my shoulder. I ended up on my knees, so I just want to make sure that I'm not going to put pressure on something that I should be resting. And that's all we have on in the diary for this weekend, I think. Next week, more of the same. Work, hopefully not having problems with the electrics. So yes, it'll be, Saturday aside, a fairly quiet one. Patisserie update. Himself has continued going to the courses. He decided to keep going. So last night it was coconut macaroons, not macaron, macaroons, and a lemon choux bun dessert, which I'm very much looking forward to trying. Looks all right, you know. I mean, it's not as it doesn't look professional quality because it's the first time he's made choux pastry, and it just, you can tell it's the first time, but it looks good, you know. And if everything could be done brilliantly the first time, you wouldn't need to take lessons in it because you'd just be able to do it. So yes, there are fewer people in the course now. Draw your own conclusions on that one. And it does mean that the teacher, again in inverted commas, has a little more time. Still is not a natural teacher, I feel, but himself feels that he is learning some stuff, so he's going to carry on. He's still going to offer feedback, not necessarily to look for a refund as he's attending the courses, but to offer feedback about the student experience. Because if this was the first cookery or catering course he was doing at this college, it would be the last. But he knows that generally they're better than that. So that's the angle he's going for, but he says he's going to offer feedback just to let them know how they can make things a little better from a logistical and practical point of view, as well as, it's not just about slating the teacher, it's about, you know, difficulties with the room, not enough equipment, that sort of thing. So that will be hopefully addressed with the college, but that's for him to sort out. I'm quite happy to do a letter of complaint. I do many of them, but not always on my own behalf. But hopefully he'll enjoy next week's course, and then that's the last one anyway. So that was a bit rambly, sorry. So I'm going to go now. I'm going to wish you all a lovely week. I'm going to thank you for being here. You take care of yourselves, keep well, keep safe. Normally I finish these normally I finish these weeks with a little roundup of what I know of COVID stuff going on elsewhere. I can't even pretend to keep on top of what's happening in different places, but I hope that wherever you are able to be safe, comfortable in what you're doing, and that you can enjoy yourself in a way that feels good. Thanks everyone, take care, bye bye.